All right, y'all. All right, man. So it's Saturday. I'm not working today. Well, I'm working, but I ain't making no money. Just doing things, to get things ready, to do things, So, yesterday, after I got done, with all that over there at that job, what ended up happening is, like I told y'all, I'm not gonna be going back over there for a few months. But the machine is just, it's got 100 pounds or more of mud on the tracks. And considering I'm gonna be putting it in my building, I got to get all that stuff off. And if I was just going to another job or going back out there another day, I wouldn't be, be thinking like that. But it's going to be sitting in my building probably until after the new year. Or, well, I might do these stumps down here next week. But other than that, well, I got to get all that stuff off of there, man. I can't stand it. And it's thick on, we're talking about, at least a wheelbarrow full of mud. I knocked some of it off with my with a crowbar, but yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to the bamboo site and get my power rake, and then I'm gonna go to the car wash and wash the machine. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not working today, so I could go down here and do these stumps if I wanted to, but he can't pay me until midweek next week. So I'd rather just wait and do them one day next week. Spend my Saturday another way, right? So yeah. So that right there, I got a guy that is he's looking for a job. Y'all know how that go. I don't have a lot of good history with labor and help and all. And like you said, like I say, man, I'm not really trying to find somebody this time of year. Well, you got to build a plan for that, and I haven't done any planning for labor and stuff in the winter, because, well, I don't have no labor, and it becomes about, you get through the summer with all the stuff I went through this summer and every summer. You get through the end of the summer, you see the camera just went dead, and it's saying it's 100%. But like I was saying, I haven't planned for any work, labor related work for this winter. And if I know I got somebody, and I know that they're, coming to work and everything, then I would plan for winter work. But I don't. By the time I get through the summer, I'm ready to with all the stuff that goes on, especially this year, well, every year, I'm burned out, man. And I already know that, well, they can't even, they ain't made it through the summer. They're quitting on me and everything else. So, and I know there's gonna be somebody say, well, you ain't paying them enough. Well, that's a lie. But I'm trying to do some things different this year, and every year I'm gonna try to do something a little bit different. I don't really know what else I can do. I can modify a few things, and I can make sure that they know that they'll have work through the winter. But I'm not going to do that until they come out here for the summer. They got to come out here for the summer for me to be able to gauge if they're, worthy of me going through a bunch of stuff and getting a bunch of work for the winter. They got to be worthy of that, and I haven't found that yet. If you come out here during the summer and you want to do things your way, and I'm always constantly battling with you, why would I want to create work for you for the winter, right? The guy Toby, he battled with me from well, after about the second week or so, he started, you know, doing things, you know, well, he started questioning everything. And, you know, I'm not against guys questioning things, but I am against it in their first 90 days, right? I mean, come on, man. And that's been my problem, you know. And then they get an attitude when I tell them like it is and like it's gonna be, and they don't like that because they're not running nothing. Well, you know, you come out here during the summer and you commit for the summer and you make it through the summer, and we don't have a lot of BS going on, then I'll pay through the winter. But if you're battling with me in June, July, and August, and all up on my nerves and stuff by the time we get to September, October, and then you quit or whatever, well, ain't nothing I can do about that. You know, I don't expect everybody to get along with me or love me or all that. You know, I don't expect that, but I expect guys to do things the way I want them to do things, and I don't expect them to, you know, question every little bitty thing in the first summer. Now, if they're out here for a summer or two, if they make it through the summer, I'll pay them through the winter. I will know by the time we get to September or so if they're worthy of winter work. And then I'll start, you know, marketing hardcore and setting up jobs. And if I got to buy another piece of equipment, a mini X or something, I'll do that, you know. But I'm not going to do that when a guy is always giving me grief in the summer and can't show up and all that. Now, the Toby guy didn't have a problem showing up. He was there every day. Where he had a problem is authority. Stupid ass camera, man. I'm about ready to bust this camera. It keeps turning off. But I haven't had a guy make it yet. And you're not gonna, you know, if a guy calls me right now looking for a job, well, ain't nothing I can really do. I'm not hiring. Well, I mean, because I'm not prepared to have somebody out here. Why is that? Because I haven't had any labor, and I haven't marketed for any work for the winter, other than just little stuff that I've been doing, which is all good for me. I mean, at the end of the day, the profits are, you know, just as good when you base it on that mental anguish, you know. And ain't nobody got that money yet. The winter work fund is, you know, and I'm not gonna hire nobody this time of year paying them freaking, you know, top dollar, and me, you know, going into the vault, if you will, to pay them, because I know I don't have enough work. And the reason I don't have enough work, again, is because I ain't go into the fall, winter with labor. So, you know, you got to go through the summer with me before I'm going to want to hire for the winter. That's just, I mean, I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I don't chase work when I don't have no help. You know, so I just hire guys, you know, through the winter as needed. And y'all see, I ain't needed a lot. I mean, I got a skid steer that can, you know, do everything. My problem has always been being able to keep somebody from the winter, from the summer to the winter. They can't never make it through the summer. You're just too hard to work for, Ray. Well, I mean, I don't know what to do. Then I'm paying the piper then. You know, I don't know how I'm too hard to work for. I don't work long hours. I pay top dollar, and I got the best equipment money can buy. I got the customers. I mean, you know, what I got a bunch of knuckleheads that want to come out here and in 30 days want to think they run shit. And when they don't even know not to blow grass in a bed. I mean, you know, they don't even know how to run you know, don't even know how to hook a trailer up. No, I gotta have you out here during the summer, for summer, and for me to be able to see where you're at, mentally, physically, and aptitude, and attitude, and all that. You know, I mean, if I were to hire somebody right now and bring them out here, they're not getting the true gist of what's happening. They're not. And then I would, you know, be going into the vault to pay them, you know, just to keep them on for the winter. Maybe not taking a hit, but I wouldn't be making nothing because I haven't lined up enough work. And I'll never line up enough work when I don't have labor, because when I don't have labor, I don't have to get out here and work like that. I don't. Y'all see what I've been doing, and it is some labor involved, but I'm able to do a pretty good bit when you're thinking about what you're doing, and you know, you got a skid steer like I got, and you have tree experience and all that like I got. So what I don't have is great employee relation skills. I get along with the customers great, but the employees, that's a whole nother ball game, man. I just don't do well. And me, them, the business, the work environment, whatever you want, but the work environment, I mean, I don't think it's bad at all, because my goal is to put them in the other truck. They're not even around me. So they're, you know, if they're not a self-motivating kind of guy, then they're going to have problems out here. If they're always looking for you know, a data boy, you know, then, you know, I'll pay them less and I'll give them a data boy. But I'm giving them, you know, $25, $30 an hour, and you know, they're not worth it. It's just, I mean, I don't know, dude. That's just seems to be how we go. Joe, Flo. What I do try to do this time of year is, well, I try to make as much money as I can that makes sense. Take on jobs that I can that make sense. But having a guy come out here and start in November, December, I don't think that's smart if you're a landscaper like me, where you've never really had a guy and you don't have the work. See, a lot of businesses like mine, well, what ends up happening, if you ask me, and I know there's a lot of truth to what I'm picking to say, but what ends up happening is if you got all this work, then you are counting on the labor. Now the labor's running the show. And so then they can start trying to handle you any kind of way, because, well, you know, so you need 2 or 3 guys. If you're gonna have one, you need 2 or 3. If you get 2 or 3 guys out here, then if one quits, you know, it's not that big of a deal. But I can't keep one, you know. I was just trying to find, you know, and I told the guy, Toby, you know, back, you know, in April, that, hey man, you know, I'm not really looking for an employee. I'm looking for somebody to run the lawn care. That's what I'm looking for. And if we need to hire somebody, we'll hire them and let them work with them. You know, I'm looking for somebody, if we need to buy more equipment, no problem. And then, you know, work through the winter or work through the summer, and, you know, and let me check the trap, make sure that they're in it, that they're doing things like I want them to do things, and doing things that are productive. And, you know, you just kind of, you want to, you know, I mean, the summer is a perfect time to check the trap, to see what kind of person you got out here working. And if I could just find one guy that I could pay more money to than anybody else, and them be dedicated and loyal, and you know, all the things that that a good employee is, then, but see, Toby got upset because he thought he was gonna come out here running the lawn care stuff. And I found out, I mean, I learned with, you know, with him, me just showing him the properties, that he wasn't ready to run a small scale business like this one. He wasn't ready for that. He, you know, he had cut a couple of lawns and thought he was, you know, Mr. Lawn Guy, but he really didn't know anything. I mean, he really didn't. Of course, when he did his own lawn care, he made more money than when he was working for the man. But that don't take much. You know, you could do 3 lawns a day and make more than you do working for the man. But when you're having to do 10, 12, 15 yards a day, and you having to be efficient on everything, and you're having to you know, watch out for stuff, and all the things that a real business owner goes through. I guess I started seeing that right away. Within 3 or 4 weeks, I already knew. Well, he passed a few tests. He did pass, you know, being on time. He did good at that. He was there every day. That was about it. He was on time every day, and but he thought that since he had done his own lawn care gig, that he was ready to run this operation. And there's a reason why he went out of business. Now, why would I let somebody that had a lawn care business and they failed? Nothing wrong with that. We learn from our failures. And they failed at their business, and then I'm going to let them come and I'm going to hire them and let them run my lawn care end without any supervision. I wasn't going to do that. He might have had some stuff right when he was doing his own gig, but obviously he wasn't doing something right. Whether it be equipment, bidding wrong, all those things, you know, not being able to do the volume, you know. And he came out here, and I told him all of this up front. Work through the summer. We'll see where we're at in September, and if everything's going good, then I will make sure that you get paid through the winter. I mean, if he says I didn't tell him that, he'd be telling you a lie, because I did. So he did me wrong based on our initial conversation, because he couldn't handle me telling him what to do. He couldn't handle that. He didn't like me. He was actually, he kind of hated on me because I made this shit look easy. Well, if you, me, or anybody does something for 15, 16, 17 years, and you got somebody that comes on and they've been doing it for 3 years, of course I'm going to make it look easy. Of course. He didn't like that. He didn't like the way that I made it look so easy. That everything that we did was a matter of fact. It was, you know, because the lawn maintenance is kind of boring. It's redundant, you know, it's the same thing over and over and over again. And I don't know how to tiptoe around guys. I don't know how to do that. And I'm not built like that. You come to work, I pay you good money, you go home, feed your family, come back to work. Same thing I do. And I'll take care of all the stuff in the background. You know, the equipment, the scheduling, the trucks, the trailers, the tires, the brakes, the lawnmower blades, the collecting, making sure you get a check every week, and you know, all the things that, you know, that a business owner does. I don't know what got me on this rant, y'all, but that's where I'm at. And so when I got guys, you know, and every winter it's like this. Guys start calling me, guys that I don't even know, and some that I'm familiar with. They start calling me and they start wanting to do work. And I got experience in all this. But the reason why they're calling me in December is because their workflow, wherever they're working out for the summer, the premium months, their workflow done died down. And so they don't have any work. And so now they're calling me and they're promising me the world to pay them through the winter. And then come, you know, April, May, they're back to what they were doing the last summer, which ain't working for me. And then I'm sitting there, done spent, you know, $15,000 for the winter on paying them or whatever, and I have no help, and I'm back to square one. Only difference is I got a stupid mentality about it. I get, you know, where it's had so many labor issues, it's affecting my own psyche, if you will. So when the next guy comes on and he promises me the world, I'm slant-eyed, you know. I mean, I'm looking at him like, yeah, whatever, you know. But there's some things that I'm going to really try this year to do different. I got a couple guys that are reaching out for me. Now, one of them, he's a friend of a friend. You know, he has a job, but he's tired of working for the man. And when he texted me the other day, I just told him, hey man, yeah, I'm not really hiring right now, but you know, we can meet and we can discuss what you're trying to do. And he ain't quit his job yet either, so you know he's working. So and so I said, you know, let's come back to this in April. So I'm going to meet with him this weekend, maybe today or tomorrow. Or, you know, he doesn't live far from me, and just kind of get a beat on what he's thinking. I got another guy that the guy that I sold my climbing saddle rig to, I sold it, right? And I met with him, and, you know, he bought the rig off of me, and then we were talking, and he's like, man, I need a good job, man. I need a job. And I'm like, man, you know, of course, you know, what was he doing last summer? He's probably busy as all get out, but get to the wintertime, there ain't a lot of work. Not if you ain't planned. And I haven't. I'll be honest, I have not planned. Well, Ray, you should always be planning for more work. I planned for enough work for me to make it through the winter. I mean, I could sit around and for the next 90 days and do nothing. Because I've been planning for my winter all summer. And I've been planning for the winter of Toby all summer. But he couldn't make it through August. So I just took that money, bought me a stump grinder, and keep moving that way. I mean, I don't know, man. But the labor force is, well, and I know, y'all, I'm not doing everything just right. I know that. And there's some things that I'm going to do to make it where it's more of an appealing job. I've got the money to do anything that I want to do, as far as getting the business to another point. And maybe I can make it more of an appealing job. You know, I'm gonna try. That's all I can do. I think I'm easy to work for, personally, compared to some of the bosses I had. Some of the bosses I had when I was coming up, man, it was ugly. You know, it's just ugly. But I don't know, man. I am, you know, my thinking is skewed against labor. When I said it, against labor. And, you know, I might not be built to have labor, but there's some things that I'm gonna do. Like I said, we're gonna get everything above board, and we're gonna get everything to where I can offer them more than just money. And we're gonna see how that works. I'm gonna always be in a constant state of trying to get better, always. That's how I'm built. Every day, every week, every month, every year, I'm trying to get better today than I was yesterday. So that's my motto. So I know it ain't easy, man. And I know it ain't easy working for a guy like me. I know it ain't easy on, you know, the younger generation with the economy like it is. I know rent is freaking stupid expensive. I know, you know, it's harder these days to make it than it was when I was coming up. It is. I mean, you can make $150,000 a year working for the man and not even be able to get a house. I bought my house on $15 an hour 20 years ago. So, you know, guys that come out here and work, they got to make a lot of money, you know, and they got to feel secure. And see, I'm in tune with all that. I used to, you know, when I had guys like Bo and Zach and some of the other guys that I've tried out, you know, when I had those type of guys out here, I was just trying to get through the summer, and make as much money as I could, and, you know, pay them what I told them I'd pay them, and get through the winter and stack my money. That's all I wanted to do. And I did that for years, and, you know, I got better at everything. I got better at running the business. I got better at, you know, making sure the business always has money, running money. I got better at the finances. I got better at the scheduling. I got more customers. I have evolved, but the labor has not, because I haven't had a labor guy out here with me during the time. But I'm going to try again, man. I mean, you know, I don't know. You know, I've had guys tell me, you know, you might need to, you know, you ought to stop doing the lawn care. Well, what would I do with all the equipment? I ain't finna stop doing the lawn care. I'm gonna have to tweak it though, for sure. We're gonna have to, you know, a few things, just a few things that I'll talk about in the video. Other things I ain't even gonna talk about because people get stupid. Probably gonna have to start working longer hours during the summer. Maybe another, you know, maybe work till 4. I'm probably gonna have to bring guys out here and start them off at an hourly rate, just straight up hourly rate, instead of trying to do the, you know, the pay for performance, because the pay for performance don't work on guys that don't know anything, because they don't know anything and they just skipping through the yards and they're not doing the yards correctly. And they're just trying to hurry up. Pay for performance is something that you earn. Otherwise, you know, that's my thinking. You come in at an hourly rate. You don't come in with no experience and getting paid for performance. Come in at a straight hourly rate, whatever that rate, we negotiate whatever that rate is. I can tell you it won't be less than $20 an hour. I feel bad about paying guys any less than $20 an hour. You know, $20 an hour is not a lot of money these days. You know, if a guy's got a good attitude and can be at work on time and all that, then, you know, I'll bump them up to 25 or 30 pretty quick. But I got to know their heart's in it, man, and I ain't had that yet, man. Toby really scarred me. He really did. So I thought me and him had a you know, an agreement, 2 grown men agreement, and, you know, he actually did worse than some of the guys that ain't got no experience, because the guys with no experience would have never been in a spot to where he was at, to where he could screw things up like he did. You know, not really knowing. And I don't even think it was, well, he just didn't give a damn, Ray. I don't even, well, that's probably part of it, but I think it's more about he didn't know, he didn't know what he thought he knew. And working out here with me for you know, 30 days, he realized that. After 30 days, he started seeing, well, I don't really know enough. He thought that he was going to come in here and run my business like he ran his into the ground. He was never on this level. Not that I'm on a big level, but there are tiers to, you know, to doing the lawn maintenance. And you know, the longer you do it, the more things you see to where you can make more money and save time. He didn't know none of those things. So, yeah, that's my 45-minute rant on employees, man. I don't even know if I'll edit the video. My back hurts too bad. But I'm going to grab the Powerade. Yeah, so, yeah.